All right, hello and welcome everyone to episode 127 of the GGG Podcast. As always, I am Paul and I am joined by my co-host Phil. We got a good show for you today. Lots of games coming out this week. Halo Campaign Evolved, Avatar Legends of the Fighting Game, and Splatoon Raiders all coming out this week. We also got Microsoft bringing ads to Xbox Game Pass, so that should be interesting. The Game of Thrones RTS War of Westeros has been delayed. We got some marathon news and a Wolverine story trailer dropped today. We are going to get into all of that, but before we do, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to our podcast YouTube channel at Golden Glaze Gaming, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio only version on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, follow us over there as well. Phil, we've been off for a week. What's going on with you? Have you played more Assassin's Creed Black Flag? What's been your gaming diet?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Black Flag. I guess it's the only game I've been playing. I haven't had a ton of time, but every minute I have, I've just been going around doing quests, seeing a big ship, seeing if I could take it down, taking it down, upgrading my ship. Oh yeah, quests. That's right. I was doing something. Going out on the ocean. Look at that island and check it out. Oh, cool. A mini quest. Yeah, game's great. It's such an easy, chillax game. Like you just roll through it. There's a dedicated button to put your hood up or down, which is really nice. I don't know why. I love it. And then today I also was able to get some time in playing Avatar Legends, the fighting game. And it's pretty good. The tutorial is great. So it makes it pretty tenable if you are new to fighting games and you like Avatar. My biggest fighting game history is a lot of Soul Calibur and Smash when I was younger. And then most recently Dragon Ball FighterZ. This feels a lot like that. There's a dedicated button with Toph where you just hold it down and she dodges attacks. It uses up the meter, but it's very cool.
Cool. Right on. I've been excited about that game and for the movie that's coming out this weekend. Tomorrow, big Avatar Last Airbender week. Very, very exciting. Yeah, I haven't been playing much. I've played a couple rounds of Fortnite here and there. I'm still playing some rematch, trying to grind out the last of the World Cup event. But yeah, not a lot of games that I've been playing because I've been moving, and I'm finally moved and I'm at the place that I'm going to be for a while. So it's very relieving, as you can no doubtably see behind me. If you're watching the video version of this, I have no decorations on the walls because I have not decorated yet. I just got my computer working. The desk is up. The Wi-Fi is on. But yeah, I need to take some time and play some games. I was probably going to pick up Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but Halo Campaign Evolved has looked pretty good, and the temptation to play that on a PlayStation, I don't know. There's something that feels so taboo that I want to try it a little bit. So
yeah. Should we talk about the game releasing this week? Because
let's get into it.
Let's get into it. That one's releasing this week.
Sorry, you said that, and I was like, "Oh, okay, he's going."
Oh yeah, no. So Halo. So our new game releases for this week, our major game releases are Halo Campaign Evolved. I believe that releases if you buy the premium edition today. If you get the normal edition, or if you're on Game Pass, the 27th, I believe. Avatar Legends, the fighting game, launches today for everyone. Same thing with Splatoon Raiders. Let's talk about Halo Campaign Evolved.
Yes. I mean, right away, I'm not a big Halo fan. I don't dislike Halo by any means. I have played a number of the Halo games. I just haven't played all of them. But I mean, it's so pretty. It actually feels like what Halo should look like in this current gen, as opposed to really what Halo Infinite was. And so the fact that it's on Unreal Engine, I really like that. I don't understand why Microsoft is not continuing with Unreal Engine outside of this game. And those have been reports that we've talked about in the past, but I think the game looks absolutely gorgeous. I love that there's a third person mode. I think that I love third person gaming, and just being able to get that different experience with Halo Campaign Evolved is very intriguing to me. And then they added a like prequel campaign to the game, and that's pretty interesting. They say it actually fleshes out the sergeant's relationship with Chief at the beginning, because much of the Halo, the first game, they're actually split apart pretty immediately in the story. So from what I'm seeing, it's a lot of people like it. They've played it before. But if you've never played Halo before, if you've been a PlayStation diehard, maybe this is finally the time that you jump on. How are you feeling about this, Phil? Is there any curiosity with you at all?
Yeah. Listen, it's coming to Game Pass, so I'm going to download it, play it on my PC. It's souped up. I want to see what that looks like. And I think before I played a lot of Halo Online, I would replay the Halo Combat Evolved story over and over again. There were certain levels that I liked more. I think I would love to see that, because I didn't really mess with the remaster Chief Edition or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, that looks okay. It looks like better. It's not like modern gen. So I'm excited to see like what a remake looks like. And it seems like they fully did that. I mean, like you said, the third person point of view is great, and whatever extra story they're adding in. The only thing that can make it better for me is that if they added the multiplayer from the original game, like, and you could play on freaking Blood Gulch with your friends.
Yes.
But maybe if this game does well enough, they will put that in a DLC, or probably charges for the whole new game. That said, still really excited to play it. I want to see what a Halo looks like in the modern gen, and that is the closest we're going to get to it, because I don't think a new Halo is going to be coming for a while.
I have no idea. With Asha in charge, I don't know what's going to happen next, to be honest. I feel like we've been all over the place. We think it's going well, then it's going terribly. So I don't know. People like this game, which is good. But yeah. I think there's a couple things I'm disappointed. I agree with you that I feel like the multiplayer should have been included in the game. And it's not. But I also like the Halo Chief, the Master Chief Collection. It's not just Halo 1. It's, I think was it 4 Halo games? Right? It's 1, 2, 3, and then Halo Reach.
It's all the games with Master Chief. Oh, maybe was it Reach? And yeah,
I think Reach is included in that, but maybe I'm incorrect. But I would have loved to have seen a Halo trilogy game that they fully remastered. And then, look, if you want to charge the $70 because it's all 3 games, go for it. I just feel like, polishing this up. I am happy that they added some story elements. They also added some cutscenes and things like that, missions and everything. So I'm glad they added to it, but I would have liked to have seen a packaged Master Chief trilogy, fully remastered thing. And instead it feels like they might give us one at a time, or they might just stop at number 1, depending on how this sells. So well,
the Master Chief Collection had Halo Reach, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo ODST, which honestly I would love a new ODST game. Give me like a new story about those guys. But yeah, that is an interesting package. Do you have any more you want to talk about with it, or should we move on to our other releases? Because there's some fun stuff to say, I think, about both of them.
Yeah, I just want to note before we move on, just it does seem so weird that Halo is on PlayStation now, and this might be the only Halo game that's ever on PlayStation. But at the same time, I feel like the seal has been broken, and if it sells well. That's all Microsoft cares about. So if it sells well, they will keep doing this. So if you do want Halo on PlayStation, for whatever reason that is, buy this, and the money will listen to that opinion. So
I gotta wonder how many like PlayStation lifers there are that are like, yeah, I've had a PlayStation this whole time, all the way since PS2, and I never crossed over and bought Halo. Which like, there's so many different ways to do it at this point. I feel like that's probably a pretty slim number.
Yeah, but I would say, like, even if you crossed over and played Halo eventually, like for just use myself as an example, I think I played Halo 3 was my first Halo, really. That I wasn't like at a friend's house, and playing for a little bit. And so like I played Halo 3, played Halo ODST, played Halo Reach, played Halo 4. I think I skipped 5. And so it's like, for me, I've played some of the Halo games, but I never played the first one because I didn't jump on the bandwagon at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my curiosity of like picking this game up, of like, I haven't actually gone through the story of Halo 1. I just remember that beach level at the beginning. So.
Oh, yeah. You're going to like it, I think. You're going to get on probably, in my opinion, the best one.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe
right. Not Halo 2. Really I feel like Halo 2 was the renowned one, but I think Halo 2's multiplayer was just what everybody really liked.
Yeah. Next up we have the Avatar Legends fighting game released today. Yes! Pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Pretty dang good.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I played like an arcade run as Toph. It's kind of cool the way they do it is like you have a certain amount of credits that you can use on your like run through the arcade mode. So it simulates that like being in an arcade thing.
Yeah.
So I think you can die like 3 times or lose 2 matches in a row 3 times in a row. And if so, you don't like complete the arcade run. And if you do, you get like a piece of concept art or like a different thing about the character. There are a couple of characters locked from the main game.
Oh.
And that is Avatar version of Katara. No, sorry, Avatar version of Korra and Avatar Aang, like when they're all juiced up.
Yep.
Yeah. But besides that, their roster is like pretty good. It feels a little bare bones, but they are adding more characters with DLC. The base version of the game is $30, or you can buy the $50 version that comes with the first year DLC pack, so that it's like another 6 characters that will come through, including Iroh. So you know I had to get that.
Of course. And Bolin and what is it? Lin Beifong.
Suki, I believe. Lin Beifong as well. Mm-hmm.
And then they're voting on the 5th one, right?
Yeah.
And did you go ahead and vote for that character?
I have the vote. I've got the power. Why haven't I voted?
Let's see. Phil. Well, let's debate right now. Who should you vote for to be added to Avatar Legends? Are there options, or can you write in anybody?
I think you have a specific person you're allowed to vote for. I don't know how do I do my vote? All
right. Well, I'll vamp while you're figuring that out. But yeah, I'm really.
I found out really quick. Okay, so the characters you can vote for are Kuvira. She was the villain from later seasons of Korra.
Oh, okay.
You have the villain from season 1 of Korra, the like
Amon,
the dude who was Amon.
Yeah.
You have Boomy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You have who became Korra's girlfriend at the end of the show. I forget her name.
Oh, I forgot as well, but she's really badass. She drives a car.
Yeah,
she's got a bunch of technology. Yeah.
Asami, and then you also have J.K. Simmons' character from Korra,
Tenzin,
Aang's son, Tenzin.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's tough. I might go Tenzin. Although isn't the evil airbender from Korra, isn't he part of the lineup already?
Yeah, he's already in the game.
Yeah. I really like Tenzin as a character, and I feel like having an all airbending guy is awesome because, like, obviously you'll have Aang in the game, but you'll be using other elements as well. So I think I would go Tenzin, but any of those are good choices. Seriously. So
I think I'm between Tenzin and Amon, honestly, because Amon seems fun. It's like a different style of combat if you're like unbending people.
Yeah, and I wonder if they let him be a bloodbender at any point. So
pretty cool.
Spoiler alert: that show came out a long time ago. I feel like I'm allowed to say that.
the movie sequel to is coming out tomorrow. You've had your time. It's been years.
Yes, I feel like it's been 10 years, if not longer than that. So, all right. And last up on our major game releases is Splatoon Raiders. It's, what's funny about this is all three of the games that we just talked about all have 81s on Metacritic. So it may not be a great week for video games, but it's a good week for video games because we don't got any stinkers over here.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It might not be a great week, but it's a good week.
It's a good week, and we'll take that. We'll take a good week. Splatoon Raiders is the single-player version of the Splatoon. People are liking it. I feel like the Splatoon multiplayer traditionally is kind of hit and miss, or it's fun for a while, but after you play it for a couple hours, you're kind of like, okay, that's enough. Whereas Splatoon Raiders, it feels like this is a fun single-player game that this lets you enjoy it instead of doing the classic team deathmatch and other game modes that are in the regular Splatoon games. So I'm glad people like it. Splatoon isn't really something that floats my boat, but happy that these are all 81s this week. B- is all around, everybody.
B- is all around. It seems cool that they're doing a single player version. If you're not into multiplayer, you don't have a great internet access. This the movement and the stuff in the Splatoon games is always very cool and very impressive to me. So it's cool to see that take form in a different way. And it seems like they've done a lot of updates. Like you can build weapons that have different abilities, and you level up your characters as you go. You create your little squidling child, your little Squidbilly, that's. Honestly, the fact that it's 81 is kind of impressive to me. I didn't think it would necessarily have that sauce.
I completely agree. Yeah, I was not expecting this is a Splatoon. I was like, it's a 7. If it's a bad Splatoon, it's a 6. So yeah, good for them. Let's get into the news for this week. Microsoft, just on a roll, is bringing ads to Xbox. Now, let's get into the details here before everyone freaks out about that, although I think it is still a bad thing. But Microsoft is doing a test where players can play games for free using Microsoft Game Pass. And what you do is you see a longer ad before you're allowed to play. And once you're done watching that ad, you can play that game uninterrupted for 1 hour. And that's not necessarily their model of the program going forward, but it's just how they're modeling their test. So their goal right now, they say, is to not interrupt any gameplay with ads. So just because you paused your game doesn't mean that you're going to see an ad. Just because you're going into a dungeon and you traditionally see a loading screen, you're not going to necessarily see an ad. I don't know. I think that for right now, this sounds fine. I think that this can be a very slippery slope. And I think that we're going to get into another story right after this one about Forza's creative director and his thoughts on Game Pass and its effect on the gaming industry and several companies that have worked directly with Game Pass. But I think that Microsoft is just continuing to look for ways to optimize their video games aside from the initial cost of purchase. And I I am wary that inevitably, like we were seeing in Amazon Prime, that they are going to add, even if you're paying for something, they're going to add ads into things, and they're going to very marginally take more and more ground going forward. So I'm glad this is a test, and I'm glad that it's free for right now. But I have concerns for it in the long run in the future. What do you think of
our capitalist system? No way. That's crazy. I don't think that the capital class would do that.
No, of course not.
No.
What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, this sucks. It's bad. We've had ads in video games before, and it's games you already paid for, and that was on the walls in Rocket League you'd see like different ads for real life things. That is the level that I'm willing to accept. If you make it into a mobile game where I can only play for 10 minutes and then I have to watch an unskippable ad and click out after 15 seconds, but if I don't click out within a perfect 5-second window, it just starts another ad, I was going to say something drastic. I will stop. If that's where we're headed, I want off this train. Right. I do think that this is a bad move for games if this does happen. Just because I think more people will be like, oh, well, we can find revenue for our game in ads and just put that in more and more games to get them made. A lot of companies will start doing that with even full games that you're paying for and be like, oh, well, you can get the free version. And then a lot of people get the free version. There's going to be a lot of free games with a lot of ads, and then everything is going to be phone games. And to be real, phone games used to be so cool. And now everyone is just ads.
Yes. Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's going to be a very slippery slope, and I really don't trust Microsoft to navigate that slope with any humility or grace. They are just trying to monetize everything. And so let's let that lead into our next story, which is the Forza Horizon 5 creative director says that Game Pass was not the success that Microsoft envisioned. And what he really means by that, he gets into the details, and he actually says that that's actually really sad because now we're seeing studios getting shut down or spun off. Loads of people are going to lose their jobs, and he's talking in reference to them launching their games on Game Pass, which is now an option for consumers, which is, as we've talked about many times over, Phil, Xbox Game Pass is the best bargain in gaming, and so it's very player focused, and we do like to see things that are player focused. But ultimately, his conclusion here was that Xbox Game Pass did not get enough subscribers in comparison to the number of games that they had accessible. And so they just didn't have, if they had enough subscribers on Xbox Game Pass, Xbox would be able to distribute that wealth to games that are like launching on Xbox Game Pass, like this latest Halo game, or like Forza Horizon 5, or The Outer Worlds 2, or something like that. So, So yeah, and if you're going to get it on Game Pass, as you have said yourself many times, Phil, it's like, well, I'm not going to buy it because I'm going to play it on Game Pass. And then that company isn't getting that direct revenue that they could have gotten that $60 or $70 out of a full purchase. So I don't know. I think that we're going to start to see some transitions in Xbox Game Pass. Do they have less games available? I think that's probably the answer. What do you think? I know we don't want to lose this awesome deal we've been getting.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be kind of happy with Game Pass if it were to continue as is, or even, drop in price for a little bit if they took out like their new big releases. Like if the new Halo game wasn't going to launch on Game Pass, I'd be fine. I would wait to play that, like, if they gave that 2 months of exclusivity or something until it's free on Game Pass, great for me. I would love to have like a lot of the little games that are releasing on Game Pass still available. Like I like that it is sort of an indie game source. For example, just today they released Hell Is Us, which is a cool game that came out just late last year. Shift at Midnight, which is a great indie that is available right now. Something I wouldn't necessarily like pay $15 for on its own, but if I'm getting that and Planet Crafter and Fix Force and hold on, I'm just digging for another one, Buckshot Roulette or RV There Yet. Like there's so many good indies on here. I feel like a lot of the times I'm hitting those up. Oh, I don't know if I cut out there. I'm hitting those
fine.
up and Pal World up more than I am hitting the big titles they release, like the Call of Duty games on there. So yeah, that's I think my thing is if you want to still make money on your big releases, go do that. But this really cool little like indie marketplace of like a subscription to cool things that are upcoming or cool things that are like newly released is more important to me.
Yeah. I feel that if they can continue supporting those indie releases, that's great. So yeah. I would just say, I kind of like that idea that you mentioned at the beginning of like a timed thing of like, if there is a big game that you want to actually, sell, then yeah, why not just do a month's delay? It's like, well, you can play it when it comes out if you buy it, or you wait a month and then you can play it on Xbox Game Pass or something like that. It's very similar to going to go see a movie. It's like, well, you can go see it in theaters, or if you're patient, you can wait and you can see it on your streaming service that you're subscribed to. So I think that would be a fine model. And I get that games are getting expensive to make, Microsoft, but you also have laid off an extraordinarily high amount of people. So I don't know. What?
I'm with you there. This is that's the they could get a lot of games into a lot of people's hands. If you look at the way they did I think Outer Wilds 2. No, it wasn't that. It was
Outer Worlds.
Actually what Outer Worlds 2. But I'm thinking of the other space game that you keep on trying to love despite how much it fights you.
Starfield.
Starfield.
Yes.
Starfield released a couple days earlier on Game Pass if you had like the premium edition, and you could upgrade to that for $30 when the game came out. If they did something like that, $30 on top of like owning the base game or whatever. And if you have Game Pass, it considers you owning the base game. So if they did something like that for their games, they're like, okay, well, this one's a premium entry. So if you want to get in like the premium collector's period, you pay $30 more and you get early access. And then after that, it's on Game Pass. I think that might be a fun middle ground, or not a fun middle ground, but I think a charitable, equitable middle ground between, being able to play these games for one fee versus not making anything when your new releases come out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep rolling through the news. War for Westeros, the Game of Thrones RTS that I have been particularly excited for. We did not see any news for at the Summer Games Fest. Very disappointed about that. We found out that it has been delayed and is going to be coming out next spring. Or we hope next spring, or hope it doesn't get delayed again. I was kind of happy to see that it was delayed because I haven't seen anything. And it's like, well, they haven't showed anything since its original announcement. So it probably means it's not coming out this year, because now we're almost at the end of July here. And then have you been watching House of the Dragon, Phil?
I have not.
You have not. I have been watching House of the Dragon, and I can't help but wonder if they could add like different factions from different time periods in Game of Thrones. They currently have like the Targaryen army built into the game, but that's the Daenerys Targaryen led army. So it's got like the Dothraki and the Unsullied and, her 3 dragons and everything like that. And but we could see other factions from House of the Dragon, maybe in some DLC or anything like that. But yeah, I'm very excited for this RTS game. There has been lots of indie RTSs popping up this summer that I have noticed. So I'm very happy that RTSs are getting a little love again. I hope they come all the way back because I desperately need them. But yeah, a little disappointed that this has been delayed. But yeah, launch early 2027. I'm going to say spring. I'm going to say winter is too early for that.
Yeah, I just remembered their trailer was super exciting because it's that Jon Snow fighting the what is it, Night King? Yeah, that's his name.
The Night King. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say the White King, and I realized that's probably not great. But he loses the fight, Jon Snow, and he gets turned into a White Walker, and the whole concept of the game is like, well, play out these battles differently, see what happens. And I think that's a really cool entry point for it. And yeah, I think a good RTS, like I used to have my time with Shogun Total War way back in the day, and I feel like those games, we don't really get a lot that are like those, and we don't get a lot of those that are very approachable. Because the Shogun Total War games, I think, are some of the high class ones, and they are, or the high standard, and they are. I feel like the tutorial is like hours long. It's crazy.
Oh yeah,
they've just added so many features. And things,
Total War is a hot mess of complicated. The only I ended up getting into Total War 3 or Total War Warhammer 3, but that's because I had a good friend walk me through it and just be patient and just explain what it is I need to focus on, because with those games there's a lot of stuff that you can mess around with, but it's not really necessary to mess around with, and so knowing what's important is very good. But yeah, really excited for Total War Warhammer 40,000 coming out next year. So that'll be another big RTS. Yeah, I don't know if you're not a huge Warhammer guy, Phil, but I might try to get you in for that because it looks pretty cool, I have to say.
That one does. I've been seeing, this is a bit of a tangent. I've been seeing a lot of like Warhammer really well crafted, really well designed like shorts. And I know it's not from that one video game episode from that
Secret
Amazon
Level
show. Like, yeah, it's not from Secret Level. Is there more Warcraft stuff out there? Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Warhammer 40,000, there's lots of stuff. Astartes is probably what you were seeing. There's really popular one that gets clipped a lot is like one between a salamander space marine and an ultramarine, so like a green space marine and blue space marine. So that one that's clipped a lot, but there's tons of media for it that's coming out. And with the success of Space Marine 2, with Henry Cavill doing a Warhammer 40,000 show on Amazon that's in production currently, the brand is definitely gaining a lot of clout and popularity. So yeah, I mean we're going to be getting Dawn of War 4. Which is Warhammer 40,000. I think the same week as Wolverine this year.
Damn.
So
holy
yeah.
smokes.
Yeah. All right, let's continue to press right along. The Marathon creative director, or is it the main director or creative director? Let's see. The Marathon game director. Yeah, he leaves Bungie. Yikes. So this is not good. It doesn't seem like there's no reporting to indicate that he was forced out. And the assistant game director is going to be replacing him. But yes, Marathon game director Joe Ziegler has announced that he is leaving Bungie for a new job, and his departure comes at a tumultuous time for the studio. This seems like a guy who knows that the ship is sinking and is going to get out now instead of being fired. And I think that's probably the smart move there, Joe. So good for you, I guess. Sucks that your game did not really form into something that a lot of people resonated with. Phil, I've asked you this before. You have played Marathon once. Have you ever played it again?
This is the same answer I always say. I played the tutorial again because I have the full game, and I was like, my time on this earth is limited. And I don't want to spend any more time of it running around in these Roblox looking mother fathers. Yeah, no, I think just the game isn't my style. It's a real bummer because I think Bungie's never been bad at shooting mechanics. We know that from Halo. We know that from all their games. And the shooting in that game doesn't feel bad, but it just doesn't feel particularly interesting or good for me. So no, I don't know if I'm going to touch that again before it eventually dies. And I think at the time, my heart was given to Arc Raiders. I don't even know what's going on in that anymore. And it's just, it's a hard one to play those types of games and to make those types of games.
Yeah, I wanted to actually ask about Arc Raiders. Because I haven't really had my gaming PC set up because of all the moving that I've been doing. Do you have any interest in getting back to that, or is that ship sailed?
I definitely want to try it. I think I'm waiting for like a big update to really change some stuff, like a new zone or something. I mean, we had one of those, but it does feel like the game is kind of entering this era where they're working on something else in the game, and they're not doing like upkeep for the servers and this, that, and the other thing. So it seems a little like they are like there's a lot of cheaters in the game right now, from what I've just been hearing and seeing. And that's just not for me. They have made some changes that are really cool, though. So, like, let's say we play multiplayer and we do a really aggressive duos game and kill a bunch of people and die. That rep officially no longer follows you into solo play. So I could be a very nice solo player, and when I play in duos and trios, be an absolute monster. And the game now like goes like, oh, okay, that's the way that you play this mode and not this mode in particular. That's pretty cool.
Right on.
Gives me a little bit more freedom to express that game. Yeah.
It's good to know. I will say they still, with the reputation system and the matchmaking, they're still so ambiguous. I wish they would just tell people how it works. And I feel like they don't want to disclose the secret matchmaking sauce.
Yeah.
Phil, if you had to guess, how many players are playing Marathon on Steam right now?
Oh, 25.
Okay, more than that.
1,000. 1,000 is that is a
1,289. That is how many
wow
players are playing Marathon on Steam. So, you count PlayStation and Xbox, maybe we get up to 3,000, maybe a little more. But
it's just wild that the company that it made one of the most famous first-person shooters of all time, and then a very good, like the non-MMO players MMO, with very good first-person shooting that like had Peter Dinklage and Alan Tudyk and all these big names, made a game that kind of came out and everyone just went, yeah, Marathon does seem just kind of like a big shrug. Like it almost seems like free to play.
Well, yeah, it should have been a free to play game, and to be honest, for Bungie, it is their most shallow game, and I have no reservations about saying that. It's like Halo, like we got a Halo game this week, and yes, it is a regurgitation of what originally came out. I don't know how many years ago, 25 years ago or something like that. But it's like Halo had a story. And it had, things to unlock and things to see. And, you look at Destiny. Destiny had a story, and it was like an MMO, and you could progress and do certain quests and go after different armor sets and everything like that. And then this is really just like, well, this is it's a battle royale sort of, Arc Raiders-esque, game. And that's the extent of it. It's like they had a look that they envisioned and they went for, and then they have their amazing shooting mechanics that they can copy and paste from game to game, and that's really it. That's all it is. So it's just like I feel like Arc Raiders ate their lunch long before this came out, and this was just the wrong direction to go in as far as game development overall. So yeah. All right, last up on the news, we got a new Wolverine story trailer. Wolverine coming up, what is it, September 9th, I want to say is its release, or September 15th, something like that.
I think it's September 9th.
Okay. But yeah, really interesting. Featured Jean Grey quite a bit and some other characters that we could have suspected but haven't yet been confirmed in the game. This is typical Insomniac. I think they've done the same thing with Spider-Man, where the closer they get to the release, they'll do a big gameplay trailer and then they release a story trailer. I'm curious to see where this story goes. Obviously, because it's a Wolverine game, we want to see a bit of Wolverine origins, X-Men origins. That's really interesting. I'm curious to see how they do it in this game as opposed to how they have done it in comics and how they've done it obviously in the X-Men Origins movie, and in X-Men with him like revisiting his past and everything. So yeah, very, very interesting. Everything I see for Wolverine just gets me more excited for Wolverine. Yeah. Anything notable stand out in the trailer?
A lot of characters in it. Omega Red. I'm pretty sure we have Professor X. There seems to be a bit of a implication that Cyclops doesn't exist. Which is
why do you say that?
Fun. Just the Jean and Logan of it all is not something that you normally. There was a particular line I can't exactly remember in the trailer that just I think pointed that direction, and at least it would be if you see Jean and you see Wolverine together. I feel like there's got to be some Cyclops action in there. So if he's not in the game already, I don't know if they're explaining that some way or he will later pop up in the game in that respect. It just felt like his absence was notable.
Yeah, but, I feel that. Yeah. I will say just with the original X-Men movies, I feel like they leaned so hard into the Wolverine Jean Grey romance that I think it would have been. I think it would be an interesting story to just lean into that for the Wolverine game. I feel like that's the more interesting couple anyway. No offense, Cyclops fans. But I hope that he is in the game because he's supposed to be around the same age as Jean Grey anyway. So maybe he's with the professor and she's not associated with the X-Men. Who knows? We're going to find out. It's going to be stupendous. There's so many freaking games that are coming out in September.
I mean, when it comes to Insomniac, they don't really miss. I mean, maybe Spider-Man 2. I know a lot of people didn't love the story. I didn't love necessarily the ending or like the last third of the game. I guess less than that. I would say like the last one.
I loved it. No, I mean it had its flaws for me, but that was our game of the year, my guy. I will go. I'll go to bat for that game.
Very, very good game. So Insomniac doesn't really miss, and I think I'm excited to see what they do with a darker story and a darker character. Because Spider-Man, while they had a pitch perfect tone for it, in my opinion, I think that it will be cool to see what they do with a guy who does cut people's heads open with his hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're not shying away from that violence, so that's always nice.
Yeah, it's not like red orbs popping out of people. They're like, no, this is that thick, paint-ass looking blood.
Yep, he just put his claws through that man's face. Oh my god. So very, very excited. Yes. Any other little tidbits, Phil, before we wrap up this week's episode of the GGG podcast?
There was something coming out that I am excited about.
The Star Trek Secret Lair Magic decks?
Absolutely not. I'm so excited that I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on those. But there is a Hobbit set coming out, so watch out. So a new game just came out recently called Meowgic. It's a lot like that game Yap Yap, where you have to use your microphone to do spells. And you put your little cat magicians. Seems really, really fun. Halo's coming out. Beast of Reincarnation is in like a week. Like a week and a half. And then on the 7th of August, we are getting Grain Rot, which is a game that I'm very, very excited about. Steam is doing a really good job of like showing you like any interesting indies that are coming out over the next couple of weeks. So some good stuff in our future.
Right on. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to talk about those games a little bit more next episode. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Phil, and thank you everybody for listening to episode 127 of the GGG Podcast. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio only version on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, follow us over there as well. Sorry for all of the moving and scheduling things. I am back in the groove now. I'm very excited to finally be settled. It's so great.
Sorry, I moved. You don't need to apologize for that. You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
Audience, apologize to him for apologizing. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. Wait, what? All right.
I love you. There we go.
I love you too. Peace out.
No, everybody. That's for the audience.
Yeah, sure. Of course it was.